Hello, I am Stacy Groff, and I'm proud to serve as the section leader for the NHPCO Volunteer Management Community. I'm also the chair of the NHPCO Awards Committee, the group that sponsors the annual Volunteers Are the Foundation of Hospice Awards. For those of you who might not be familiar with NHPCO, it is the section of NHPCO's membership that works to strengthen the professional disciplines that make up the interdisciplinary organization. There are 16 different discipline-specific e-communities, as well as some issue-specific groups on the NHPCO website. Another wonderful part of NHPCO is the opportunity to present awards to some of the true heroes among the hospice provider community, our volunteers. These awards were created to honor hospice volunteers who best reflect the universal concept of volunteerism in its truest sense, serving as an inspiration to others. Our first award is the Volunteers Are the Foundation of Hospice Award for Organizational Support that recognizes an individual who has made significant contribution to the hospice and palliative care organization and community through his or her volunteer efforts. This year, we're doing things a little differently. Every year, we receive so many outstanding applications, and we wish we could give all of these volunteers an award, but we can't. But we are going to recognize the top finalists. For the Organizational Support Award, our outstanding finalists worthy of acknowledgement are Holly Atcherson-Fry from Hospice of the Chesapeake in Pasadena, Maryland, Julie Cage-Lindsay with Skirball Hospice in Encino, California, Richard Holm of Brookings Hospital Hospice in Brookings, South Dakota, John Stover from Hope Hospice in New Braunfels, Texas, and Patricia Swanson with Kitson Hospice in Halleck, Minnesota. And the recipient of this year's Organizational Support Award is Rachel Carver with Hospice of Redmond in Redmond, Oregon. In describing her role as a volunteer, Rachel has said, "It's the best job I've ever had." For a person who is retired from a brilliant career with the Bureau of Land Management after 33 years, that says so much about how she loves giving of herself as a selfless volunteer. Hospice of Redmond's major fundraiser of the year is the Festival of Trees, which grosses an average amount of $160,000, which among other things funds a robust transitions program and a bereavement camp for kids. Rachel went from just being involved like hundreds of other volunteers to being the right-hand person to the event coordinator. Year-round, she is working on the administration and organization of this major event. From donation letters, sponsor letters, tree decorators, and endless administrative tasks, Rachel is the primary organizer to help us successfully pull off this festival. And within the overall event, Rachel runs the silent auction from start to finish. Rachel was integral to organizing the hospice's many volunteer files in a way that allowed for easy tracking of everything according to mandates and regulations. When the program went through a survey this year, it was hugely helpful and impressive to the surveyor. Rachel's volunteer coordinator, Jill Wolf, says of her, "It's humbling to manage talented individuals like Rachel as they become volunteers, many whom could most certainly do our jobs, but rather they come to join us shoulder to shoulder and serve with us in this beautiful cause." Congratulations, Rachel Carver, recipient of the Volunteers Are the Foundation of Hospice Award for Organizational Support.
I am deeply honored by this recognition from the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization and Hospice of Redmond. I've never considered myself or my work to be extraordinary, and the intent has always been to help where I can, make a difference if I can, and to give back to my community. And I honestly can say that I have gained far more from my volunteer service than the organization or the community has received from me. I have no words to adequately describe the value of the work done by all volunteers at hospice organizations and the profound effect that it has on the families, patients, clients, and community that we serve. When you love what you do and do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And this is the best job I've ever had. I am humbled and grateful, and my heart is smiling. Thank you all.
Our next award is the Volunteers Are the Foundation of Hospice Award for Patient and Family Service. This award celebrates an individual that through his or her service positively influences the quality of life of patients and families. First, let me share the names of some of our distinguished nominees for the Patient and Family Service Award. Loretta Beisel with Angelic Palliative and Hospice Care in West Atlantic City, New Jersey. Robert Durst from Providence Hospice of Seattle in Tukwila, Washington. Darlene Hennick of Community Hospice in Ashland, Kentucky. Marcia Cranes with East End Hospice in West Hampton Beach, New York. Sharon Pickett with Safe Harbor Hospice in Fredericktown, Missouri. And Tammy Swick from Hospice Alliance in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. And the recipient of this year's Patient and Family Service Award is Ginger Wheeler with Big Bend Hospice in Tallahassee, Florida. Ginger has been volunteering with Big Bend Hospice for 10 years and is consistently grateful for the opportunity to serve and care for others. She has such a confidence and compassion in her approach to patient care. She is the kind of volunteer that walks into a room, is able to read the situation and adapt to what the patient or family members need for the time that she is with them. Ginger has sat with many patients during their final hours, reading to them, singing or praying with them, and just whispering so that they know they are not alone. As intuitive as she is, what also impresses our hospice staff is that she still attends each and every in-service. As soon as disciplines were suspended due to COVID-19 precautions, she started making masks and sewing gowns for the hospice staff and brought treats for the nurses and aides who were working. Through her confidence and her ability to sincerely care about a patient and their needs, she reminds us all to cherish every moment. Congratulations, Ginger Wheeler, recipient of the Volunteers of the Foundation of Hospice Award for Patient and Family Service.
Hi, I'm Ginger Wheeler from Tallahassee, Florida, and I want to say that it's been my pleasure and my very great privilege to volunteer at Big Bend Hospice House. There are no words for the thanks I want to express to you, to all of you, for this great honor. When I first started training to be a hospice volunteer, I was really surprised at my mother's reaction. My mom was a world-class volunteer. She volunteered for everything. And I thought she would be very encouraging, but she said, "You're not gonna like that. It's gonna be very depressing. Why are you doing this?" I reminded her of what she had taught me all my life, that God didn't give us abilities, talents, resources to keep them to ourselves. Our gifts are meant to be shared. When I think about the happiness that I get from my family, when I think about how my husband and children support me through this and everything, when I think about the joy that I feel when I walk into the hospice house and I see Betty and Katie with their great big smiles, when I think about everything I've learned from these wonderful nurses, from Stephanie and Erin and Irene and these wonderful people, and the joy that I get from being here, how can I not want to share that with others, especially with these patients? I can't thank everybody enough for everything they've done. And I would be terribly remiss if I didn't thank all hospice workers everywhere, the comfort and the compassion that you give. Your mission is the most noble. And without you, too many people would not have the comfort that they need at the end. So thank you all, and God bless you all.
I'm Melinda Gruber, and I am honored to serve as the chair of my NHPCO and as an NHPCO board member. Along with many benefits that my NHPC offers is access to a wealth of information via the member-only professional communities that are available on the website my.nhpco.org. So today we're continuing to celebrate the gifts of some incredibly dedicated people through the presentation of two more Volunteers Are the Foundation of Hospice Awards, which are sponsored and presented by your My NHPCO colleagues. We start the award recognition recognizing special volunteer service. This is service provided to patients and families through a specialized volunteer program such as pediatric care, bereavement support, pet therapy, spiritual support, massage, or other complementary therapies. To continue our new practice, let me share the names of some of our distinguished nominees in the special volunteer service category. Marcia Borling from A Grace Hospice Care in Madison, Wisconsin. James Graham with Oswego County Hospice in Oswego, New York. Elsa Swayers of Casa de la Luz in Tucson, Arizona. And Christine, or Chris, Zagorin from Empath Health, Suncoast Hospice in Clearwater, Florida. And the recipient is Cynthia Shannon Ziesloft, or Z, as she's known, with Columbus Hospice of Georgia and Alabama in Columbus, Georgia. We are actually honoring two volunteers, Z and a volunteer pet therapy dog, Beethoven. The story begins in May of 2015, when Lieutenant Z was tasked with developing a pet therapy program for the Muscogee County Sheriff's Department to utilize with inmates at the jail. Beethoven was a rescue from Paws Humane Society in Columbus, Georgia. Lieutenant Z and Beethoven began volunteering with Columbus Hospice in 2016, and it touched untold lives of the many people with whom they have spent time at the hospice house where they visit patients and families. Lieutenant Z and Beethoven bring a therapeutic presence to patients who are able to communicate verbally and those who cannot. Z came to Columbus Hospice to do pet therapy, but since starting has taken on other roles in the Pet Peace of Mind program, Camp Hope, fundraising, and community outreach. She has become an ambassador for the hospice through her works in the community. Her giving heart and positive attitude are an asset to the organization. Congratulations, Cynthia Shannon Z, or Zloff.
Thank you to the National Hospice Palliative and Care Organization. You guys, I am honored to receive this award, and I'm blessed by Columbus Hospice for nominating me, and my mind is blown today in getting this award and coming to Columbus Hospice and just being a volunteer with the Pet Peace of Mind program and volunteering with meeting new people, taking dogs and cats and getting them to where they need to be, and Beethoven and I getting to visit patients and just making an impact on the patients that are here and throughout the community. When we go out and about, it is an amazing effect that Beethoven has on the people that we meet. And thank you so much for this award. This is amazing. You guys made my day today. Thank you again.
Our next volunteers are the Foundation of Hospice Award was created to honor a young leader. This award recognizes a young person who has made a significant impact upon patients and families, the hospice and palliative care organization, or to the community through his or her hospice volunteer efforts. Let me share the names of some of the outstanding young volunteers who have been nominated for the Young Leader Award. Matthew Oldenburg of Oswego County Hospice in Oswego, New York. Zach Kopanius with Hospice of Northwest Ohio in Perrysburg, Ohio. Sierra Yamasaki from ProCare Hospice of Nevada in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Samantha Zappella with Tidewell Hospice in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. And I'm proud to announce the recipient of this year's volunteers are the Foundation of Hospice Young Leader Award to Colleen Martin from Empath Health Suncoast Hospice in Clearwater, Florida. Colleen began volunteering with the Teen Volunteer Program in October of 2016 when she was only 14. Throughout her volunteering experience, she has demonstrated a maturity beyond her years. She is a skilled communicator and has a way about her that puts both teens and adults at ease. She's a valued mentor to other incoming teens. As a cheer team volunteer, Colleen visits assisted living facility patients delivering crafts and the gift of conversation. She seeks ways to improve the visit experience for each patient, incorporating music and games into the visit. Colleen collaborates with care teams to celebrate special occasions like birthdays and other significant events for patients and their families, delivering flowers, cupcakes, a blanket, and the most wonderful gift, a true interest in the patients themselves. Congratulations, Colleen Martin, recipient of the Volunteers Are the Foundation Young Leader Award.
Thank you to NHPCO for this award. It is truly such an honor. My time as a hospice volunteer has been incredible. I am so blessed to be surrounded by such kind, loving people and to have the life-changing experiences that I have. I chose to volunteer at hospice to pay back the organization for all it had done when my grandmother passed. I was too young to remember much of that time, but I did remember the hard-working volunteers and knew that I wanted to be like them one day. So when the time came, I applied. But what I was doing soon became so much more than an obligation to the organization. I have grown as a volunteer, a communicator, a leader, and just as a human being because of the connections I've made with patients and their families. So thank you to my parents for your unending support and help with transportation, even when it was inconvenient. Thank you to Melissa Moray and Kathy Wendt for nominating me, training me, and providing me with the opportunities to do what I love. Thank you to my fellow volunteers and the staff that I've worked with for pushing me to grow as a volunteer and as a person. And thank you to the patients and families who have helped me to break out of my shell and become more open-minded and empathetic.
Hello, I am Stacy Groff, and I'm proud to serve as the section leader for the My NHPCO volunteer management community. Today's award is new for 2020. In a year that has brought nothing but challenges, it is inspiring to recognize an outstanding individual with the inaugural We Honor Veterans Volunteer Service Award. When not serving NHPCO, I am the Vice President of Specialized Services at Tidewell Hospice, and I am proud to say that we are a Level 5 We Honor Veterans partner and served as part of the initial Level 5 pilot. I can attest to how meaningful and important this program is to all of our patients and families who have served our country. The new We Honor Veterans Volunteer Service Award was created to celebrate volunteers serving our organization primarily in the We Honor Veterans program. The nominations we received were inspiring, and I would like to recognize some of the veteran volunteers who are making outstanding contributions to their organizations. Bruce Beckert with Montgomery Hospice in Rockville, Maryland. Rudolph Rudy Fontaine of Empath Health Suncoast Hospice in Clearwater, Florida. Walter Gensimer from Heartland Hospice in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. George Herbeck of Hospice of St. Francis in Titusville, Florida. Mac McGahey with Hospice Care of the Low Country in Bluffton, South Carolina. And Tom Ray from the Columbus Hospice of Georgia and Alabama in Columbus, Georgia. And I am honored to present the first We Honor Veterans Volunteer Service Award to John Stern, volunteering for the We Honor Veterans program at Angela Hospice in Livonia, Michigan. In 2012, John Stern, a United States Air Force veteran, was reading an article in a VA publication about the We Honor Veterans program. At that time, John's connection with Angela Hospice was through his wife, Lucy, who was an RN for the agency. John was so moved by the program that he and his wife, Lucy, went to Angela Hospice leaders to suggest the organization become a part of the We Honor Veterans program. While the leadership felt there was great value in the program, they simply did not have the staff at the present time to start the initiative. They did not imagine that John would opt to become a hospice volunteer and then step up to lead the entire program. Angela Hospice is currently a Level 3 partner, soon to be Level 4. John developed educational in-services for staff and volunteers to introduce them to the We Honor Veterans program. He developed protocols and procedures for identifying veterans coming onto service. He established the outreach script and process for offering the pinning ceremony and veteran support to those veterans. Since the start of the program, John has overseen the pinning of 497 veterans, personally conducting 440 of those ceremonies, has made at least 90% of the 1,454 outreach calls, and provided more than 300 veteran-to-veteran visits. John Stern built the foundation of the We Honor Veterans program at Angela Hospice and created an everlasting impact on hundreds of veterans, family members, community members, staff, and volunteers. Congratulations, John Stern, the first ever recipient of the We Honor Veterans Volunteer Service Award.
Hello, I'm Marty Copley, President and CEO of Angela Hospice in Livonia, Michigan. And I am so proud today to be joined by John Stern and to be able to present him with this award from NHPCO.
I am honored. I thank Terry for submitting my name. I thank Angela Hospice for believing in the program and supporting it. And I just wish I could be there to thank them personally, but I'll hope that they will accept my video thanks. I am just totally honored, and I am very humbled that they would choose me to receive this particular award. I'm just very, very honored, and being a veteran, it means a whole lot to me to know that my service really made a difference. I served in the Air Force from 1962 to 1966. The We Honor Veterans program is a great opportunity for me as a veteran to be able to thank our veterans for their military service. And it's a real honor to be able to be among my peers in the military ranks, and it's just a great opportunity for me to do this, and I thank Angela Hospice for giving me that opportunity to thank veterans for their service.